Hello, friend. I had a great day today. It's Sunday and the weather was deliciously warm, like 70, 80 degrees, a brief reprieve in the spring because next week it'll be cold again. So I decided to be out and about like a lot of other people, and I went to one of my local public libraries. And this is one of the really nicer libraries because it was recently renovated and it's in a really nice neighborhood. And it's also a short walk from a cafe that I really love to go to. And the library itself has its own cafe, which is really fun. So I got there like around 10 a.m. Sunday morning, and I treated myself to a muffin and a latte, and it was really delicious. It was so much fun. And then I didn't reserve one of the co-working spaces. Like they have these offices that you can reserve for like 2-hour blocks, but most of them were empty. So I took a chance and I went in one, and I was there for like a half hour before the person who had actually reserved it signed up. But she was super nice and said I could share it with her because it was a room that was big enough for 6 people. And she said she was going to be working quietly, and if I was going to be working quietly, I could stay. So that was super nice and super kind of her. And I was so grateful because I wanted to go and do some admin stuff for my day job. It's just really boring and tedious, and I hate doing it at my home on a Sunday. But because of my Monday deadlines, it's stuff that it's just easier if I do it on a Sunday. But still, it sucks. And so I'm like, if I have to do it on a Sunday, I'm going to do it in a nice area, but I still need to be in a space where I can like be focused. And so being in the common areas in the library is just hard to be focused because there's so much going on. Like there are kids running around and people talking on their phones. Like people are not quiet at the library like they used to be back in the day, like when I was young. I mean, it's gotten better, but since the pandemic, like people just don't really understand like how to be in public space with other people. Like everybody acts like they're at home in their living room. Like it's so bizarre. It's just the weirdest thing. Like not just at libraries, like pretty much everywhere you go now. But that's a whole other topic. So anyway, it was really nice. And we worked quietly side by side. And it was kind of nice because it kind of reminded me of the days when like I worked in an office. And I kind of miss like when I did have coworkers I liked working with, like in a space. Like I forgot how nice it is to actually like just be in a space with like another human being. And like, and even though she was like talking to herself and she was working on stuff, and sometimes like, you know, her phone would go off, and like, you know, she was obviously married. She talked to her husband for like a couple minutes about their kid and then hang up. But I didn't mind. Like I really liked her energy. And I don't know, there was something comforting about like her just like mumbling to herself from time to time. And it was kind of a nice distraction from like how much the task I was doing irritated me. So it was like this really unexpected and surprise blessing to like be in this space with this woman. And plus it was nice too that like when we both took bathroom breaks, like we had somebody to watch our stuff. And so that was really nice too. Like I didn't have to lug everything with me to the bathroom like I normally would if I'd been by myself. It was just this really sweet gift that Source gave me. And I was able to get through most of my stuff. And then at the end of the 2-hour break, you know, we just talked briefly about what we were each working on and left and wished each other a nice day. And who knows, maybe I'll run into her again since she lives in the neighborhood and we both go to the library on a regular basis. And so that would be kind of nice if I see her again. And then I took the walk. It was like a 15-minute walk to the cafe that I love. Treated myself to a delicious lunch. And it's just a really nice, like, mom and pop shop, and it's nice to be able to support like local shops when you can. And it was nice just to like watch people and, you know, some of the families and people that were just hanging out. Like when you work from home and you're by yourself all the time and like you're looking at your computer, like I forgot how important it is to like just go out and be around other people. Like there's something really nice. Like we do need that. Like, and there's something nice about being in a space where like I'm not actually having to talk to somebody, but like people are around. Like just the connection, the energy of just having other people around is like good for my mental health. And so I had lunch, and then I had actually did reserve a room for later that afternoon. So I had enough time to eat lunch, like leisurely and quietly and like just watch people and look out the window and listen to the music that was playing. And it was like a really nice, relaxing music set. And that's the other thing too, why I like to work at the library, because most coffee houses and cafes now, like the music is horrible and like it's really loud, and they basically try to set the environment up so like no one wants to stay for more than 30 minutes. Like it's not like it was back in the day where you could like hang out for like 2 to 4 hours. Like I know people who like wrote entire novels like just by going to like coffee houses back in the day, for like 2 to 3 hours a day. And you just can't do that at most of these places now, because like they jack the air conditioning up and like they have the music super loud because like they want people to leave in like 20 to 30 minutes. So they have like more turnover of customers. And I get it. I understand the business model. People are doing what they got to do to like, pay the rent on these expensive buildings because, to have a brick and mortar, like it's freaking expensive, between that and the employees and all the other expenses that go along with it. Like I understand it. And at the same time, it's kind of annoying because like there's something nice about being able to be out like in a public space for like 2 to 3 hours and just like really give your body a chance to like settle into the place. And the only way you're really allowed to do that now in most places is like when you're at a restaurant with like other people, or if you're by yourself, like having a meal. Like there just isn't really a lot of public places where you can like just sit and like just be with your thoughts for like an hour or two. If it's not a restaurant. I don't know, that's kind of sad. So that's why I love public libraries, because it's like one of the few places where you can do that. Of course, you can also do other stuff, like you can go to museums and art galleries, and that's kind of nice too. And like, I'll do that from time to time. And that was actually one of the things that we talked about recently in like my school community, like being in public spaces, like by ourselves, and how it can kind of be a way to like disappear but still have people around. And so it's kind of nice to have opportunities to do that sort of thing. So anyway, I enjoyed my meal, and then I went back to the library. And then when I got to the room that I had actually reserved, like there was an event going on in part of the library where like people were speaking on a microphone, and where I was, it was kind of distracting. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can really do this. And it was a part of the day where like I really needed like to be able to zone in and like focus on what I was doing. And so I went to another co-working space that was empty, and I wasn't sure if someone had reserved it, but it turns out there was a guy who had reserved it, and I told him that I moved because where I was, like the noise was distracting me. And he was so nice. He was like, well, we can just switch. And so like he took the room I had reserved and he let me keep the room that he had reserved, and like it was perfect because I could like focus and like I didn't hear the mic as much, especially when I put my own phone on in the room I was working in, which is the other reason why I like to get a private like room at the library. So when I'm in it by myself, I can actually like play my music softly, like on speaker, kind of like I'm working at home, but like I'm not, like it's like just right. And then he was making calls, which is why he didn't mind the noise and other stuff, because like he was already like going to be making noise himself. So like it was cool. Like it was just so nice to have like these two encounters with two complete strangers who were like so kind and generous. And like, I don't know, it feels like it's so rare to kind of have that experience these days when you're out and about. So it was just this big blessing from work. And then the room that I ended up moving in, the guy had only reserved it for an hour, but like I was pretty much done with all of my day job stuff by the time the other guy took the room I had moved to. I only had like one email I needed to send. And so I thought, okay, I'll try the quiet room at the library. Because I don't know if they have this at all public libraries, but in the part of the country I'm in, most of them have 1 or 2 rooms where it's like anywhere from like maybe has 8 to maybe like 12 people, maybe 15 at like different workstations side by side. And the theory is like you're supposed to be in there and like make a minimal amount of noise. Like it's a space for people to just like be quiet and focused. And like I said, get away from all the like hum and like weird noise and distractions that people are making in like the main common areas of the library. Like people just being like out and about or on their phones, or the kids running around, or and the people, the library staff, like talking to each other. Like when you're in the quiet, like dark room. Like you actually don't hear any of that stuff once you close the door. And it's like so nice. And what I did do this time is like the other reason why I don't always go to the common quiet room is like I'm always worried I'm not going to be quiet enough because like half the time I got to dig in my bag for XYZ and like that makes noise or I end up like knocking something over. So I made sure I had all my stuff organized before I went in there so that I could actually be quiet and focused. And I had everything set up on my computer the way I needed it to. And so I went in there and I got my little spot. And I'd forgotten how nicely lit the quiet room is. Like the co-working spaces is more like direct sunlight or daylight the way it's set. And I'd actually turn the lights on in the co-working space because I didn't really need it. Like the natural light was pretty much what I needed. But the quiet space was like better lit. And by that time of the day, like it was kind of good to like have better lighting for like the last email I needed to like prep and send out. And then I had also forgotten how nice it kind of is to be in the quiet room with like people next to me, like on the left and the right and on the other side of the room. Like it felt like old fashioned study hall in school. I don't know if they do that now anymore, but like in my day, I'm dating myself. Sometimes you'd have study hall with like other students and like everybody was just at their own little desk and like it was quiet and like you just worked on your own stuff. And I mean, that's exactly what it was. And I was like, oh, and again, it's a way to be connected and in community without having to like actually interact, because I think that that's what we forget about, like how nice it is to have those kind of spaces in real life. Because when you're doing everything online, most of the time, the only way to communicate with people is like you have to like be sharing something about yourself or you have to be reading about other people. Like, you're always taking information in about other people and that's cool and it's nice. And sometimes we just need a break from all that. Like sometimes we just need to like sit next to like a complete stranger, like on a bus or a train or a plane and like not talk. Like sometimes there's something nice about that too. And I don't know, it was just really nice. I'm glad I had like all three of these experiences today. I guess 4 if you count my like eating my delicious lunch. And then it was just nice to like come home and chill out and like relax and I had a full productive day. I got everything done that I need to get done for the day job. So now tomorrow will be like super, well, at least the morning anyway, will be under control. It's still going to be a Monday, so God only knows what's going to happen. But I know I just felt like I had a really good day. And so just want to share that with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you have like public libraries or like cool common spaces where you can do that sort of thing. I don't know if anyone goes to official co-working spaces. I don't because I'm just not in the position to like invest right now financially the way I'd have to use those kind of spaces. But I'm looking forward to the day and the time when I am in a position to afford to work in an actual co-working space for like a day or two or a couple of days a week. But yeah, things to look forward to. But mostly I just want to come in and say I had a wonderful day. It was bright and sunny and I had like a fantastic time at the library. And so if you get to do anything like that in like your communities, let me know. Love to hear how it goes. And always remember to honor the light within you.